let's learn how to crochet the mini block stitch. We're going to start by making our foundation chain. So make a slip knot using your preferred method. This is how I like to make my slip knots. And then your starting chain needs to be an even number. It can be any length you want it to be as long as it is an even number. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to make a starting chain of, let's say, 12. So there's my chain of 12 and we're ready to start row 1. To start row 1, make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So we're skipping this chain here, making a single crochet into this second chain. It doesn't matter what bit of the chain you go under. You can go under 1 loop or 2 loops here. It's down to personal preference. I prefer to go under 2 loops like that, and then work a single crochet. Now chain 1, skip the next chain and make a single crochet in the chain after that. And we're going to repeat this all the way along our chain. So making a chain of 1, skipping 1 chain and making a single crochet in the chain after that. So repeat this all the way along until you reach the end of your chain. Your final stitch should be a single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end of row 1. So this is what your first row of crochet should look like. We are alternated between single crochets and chains. Now we're ready to start row 2. So you have 2 choices before we start row 2. You can either change colour every row, which is what I'm going to do, or you can continue on with the same colour. If you're going to continue on with the same colour, make a chain of 3 here, then turn your crochet over, ready to start row 2. But if you're wanting to change colour, I will show you how to do that now. We're going to fasten off and cut our yarn just like we would normally. So I've made a chain of 1 here just because I like the security of that extra chain of 1. Then cut the tail to approximately 6 inches. Use the hook to pull that tail through that chain and give it a pull to tighten. And now we've fastened off that colour. We can now select our second colour. So pull up a tail of your second colour and then pick up your crochet. So this is the front of our crochet. This is what we were looking at as we crocheted row 1. Because we're working in rows, we need to be turning our work at the end of every round. So turn your little piece of crochet over. Now we're going to join in the second colour. So if we have a look over here to this side, here is the last stitch we crocheted of that round, and this is where we fastened off our yarn. So we're going to put our hook into the top of that single crochet stitch, just like that. Then lay our colour across our hook, grab it and pull it up through to pull up a loop, ready to start row 2. So to start row 2, chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet stitch. Then work 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space. So in that space there before the next single crochet. So I'm going in there and working 2 double crochets. So there's my 2 double crochets into that chain 1 space. We're then going to skip the next single crochet and work 2 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. And you're going to repeat this all the way along the row, working 2 double crochets into each chain 1 space and skipping the single crochets. Once you're almost at the end of row 1 and we've just got that final single crochet left, come back to this tutorial and I'll show you how we finish off row 2. So I've worked 2 double crochet into each of those chain 1 spaces and I'm now almost at the end of row 2, but we've got a single crochet left, so we're going to work 1 double crochet into the top of that single crochet. So this kind of forms an edge stitch, just like that chain at this end of the row. So we don't work into the single crochets along the middle of the row, we only work into them at either side of the row, the beginning and the end of the row. So work a double crochet into the top of that single crochet. and then fasten off exactly like we did at the end of row 1. And now we're ready for row 3. So for row 3, we're going to join in the original colour. I really like using the same colour for all of the odd numbered rows in this pattern. So turn your crochet over, and we're going to join our colour yarn into the top of the first stitch, just like we did at the start of row 2. So I'm going to put my hook underneath both of the loops at the top of the stitch of that last double crochet we made of row 2 there, lay my yarn across the hook, grab a loop and pull it, and I've joined in this next colour. So now we're ready for row 3. Start row 3 with a chain of 1. This does not count as a stitch. Then work a single crochet into the space between that first stitch and that second stitch there. So we pull it a little bit, you can see there's a nice hole there for us to make a single crochet in there. Then chain 1, skip the next 2 double crochets, so skip, skip, and then make a single crochet in the space between the next 2 stitches. So we're skipping this one and this one. We're going to make a single crochet in that space there, and if you can see, there's our single crochet from row 1, so it's directly above that single crochet between those groups of 2 double crochets. So there's a group of 2 double crochet into a chain 1 space, 2 double crochet into a chain 1 space. So we're going into this space here. We're going to work 1 single crochet, and we're going to repeat this across the row. So chain 1, skip 2, and make a single crochet in the space between those 2 groups of 2 double crochets above the single crochet from the last round. There's kind of a natural hole that forms. And we're going to repeat this across the row. So continue doing that across your crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 3, and I'll explain what we do for future rows going forwards. So I'm almost at the end of row 3, and I just wanted to show you here that the final single crochet is between our starting chain from row 2, so that's this here, and that group there of 2 double crochets. So I'm going to pull on that starting chain, and a hole should open up here, and I'm going to do a single crochet into that space, so in there. And then fasten off this colour. So this stitch pattern is actually a 2-row repeat, so you're going to repeat rows 2 and row 3 over and over again until your piece of crochet is the size that you want it to be. As you can see, where we make those single crochet stitches, they're all kind of stacked up on top of each other, so that gives you sort of a guideline of where you're putting your hook for those single crochets on future rows. So I hope you've enjoyed this easy stitch tutorial. This is the first video in a new series on my channel where we're exploring lots of beginner friendly crochet stitches. If that sounds great to you, do hit that subscribe button and tick the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new stitch tutorial. I'll see you again in another tutorial.